Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. We all gather here on every Sunday morning at Toastmasters Club of Storytellers in order. Why do we gather here? Don't we have anything better to do? No, we have a great thing to do. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence, personal growth, and all good stuff that entails from that. Now, what is that supposed to mean? I just read out the Toastmasters mission statement. What is that really? Uh, Back in the day when education used to be the luxury of a privileged few, and you really wanted to be able to tell whether a person is educated or not based on how they speak. Rhetoric was a very important topic of education. Unfortunately, since we have moved to a very democratic system of education where we teach only useful skills, we have moved away from the teaching of rhetoric, and it is an important part of being a leader it is an important part of being a human being to be able to talk properly and to be able to communicate well. And Toastmasters is filling the gap for a lot of us in order to learn how to express our opinions in a very convincing, forceful, and impactful manner. There are some ground rules to a Toastmasters meeting. For example, if you have any noise making devices in your room, like your cell phones or some children, please ask them to leave or keep them in silent mode. While you're speaking, keep your phones inside. While you're speaking, don't mention any divisive topics like sex, religion, or politics. If you are not speaking, keep your video on, try to keep your video on, but if you're not speaking, try to be on mute, because you never know who might decide to start drilling in your neighborhood, or a neighbor might decide to start their mixing. With that, I would like everybody to give a huge round of applause for our club president, Toastmaster Mahek, who will be taking the virtual stage from me. Toastmasters Club of Storytellers Club President, Toastmaster Mahek, please, huge round of applause.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Camps, for such a warm welcome. Greetings, dear Toastmasters and my fellow guests. I welcome you all to the Hunger Games second meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. Before moving on and inviting the guest on stage, I would like to make a short announcement. As you all know, that contest season is here. So next week, that is on 27th November 2022, on Sunday, at the same time, we are going to have our club's contest. So I would request all the members of the club to do participate in the contest, and the winners of the club contest will move on to the area level. That will be further notified when the area level competitions will be held. So I would request each and every member of TCST to do participate in the club contest. Thank you so much. Now with this, I would like to welcome the guests on stage. First, I would like to invite potential Toastmaster Lakshay to invite himself to the to introduce himself to the members of the club.
Hi, club members. My name is Lakshay. I have a 9-year experience in operation management, and I've been to sales now for the last 2 years. So I've been through a different variety of fields in the last 9 years, and I like eating. About myself, I should tell, like, I like eating golgappas. Okay, I guess I am more about. I like playing video games also, and that's my introduction, I guess, as of now.
Thank you so much, Lakshay. We are happy that you are able to come to the meeting today. Next, I would like to invite potential Toastmaster Ankan to please introduce himself.
Hi, myself Ankan. This is my second meeting, and so last meeting was a good experience and an enriching one. I'm looking forward to this one to be the same and contributing meaningfully as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ankan. It's a pleasure to have you back for the meeting today. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Raghav.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, this is my second consecutive meeting. It feels like home here. And I recently completed my graduation from Dal Singh College, which comes under Delhi University. So, yeah, looking forward to have a great experience and fun.
Thank you so much, Raghav, for joining in today and all the best for your speech. Now, with this, when the guest introductions are done, I would like to welcome on stage our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Diptendu, with a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. Thank you so very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. Mehak, do I have screen sharing rights? Yes,
Let
I
me give
do.
it to you. Do you have?
Seems like I do. I will share my screen shortly. So, friends, today we are going to play a quiz, which is going to be centered around Bollywood and Bollywood stars. But here at Toastmasters Club of Storytellers, storytelling is what we seek to propagate. Storytelling is what we seek to learn. And what better way to learn storytelling than through Bollywood movies or Hindi movies? So, what are the elements of a typical Bollywood movie or of any movie? There is a script, there is screenplay, there is direction, there is production, and there is cast or star cast. Each of these elements play a vital role in the production of a movie or in the world of cinema. The script is just written on paper. The script is not the movie. Script is the idea, script is the character, script is like the prepared speech which we deliver here at Toastmaster. Then the director and the creative team develops that script into a screenplay. How will the action unfold on scene? Well, for example, in case of Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, Shah Rukh Khan takes Kajol away, or Amrish Puri, Kajal's father, sends Kajol away to Shah Rukh Khan while Shah Rukh Khan is in a train. Now, the script would have read something like that: the heroine goes away, the father gives away the heroine to the hero at the end of the movie. But the way it plays out on screen, in a train, a bloodied Shah Rukh Khan, and then a crying Kajol, and then a pensive Amrish Puri letting go of Kajol's hand, and all this is screenplay, and this is how it unfolds on screen. Then there is direction. The director could have made a choice of sending Shah Rukh Khan away probably in an expensive car, because in that particular movie Shah Rukh Khan is a rich guy. But then the setting was that of a railway station. The fight scene in the climax of DDLJ happens at a railway station. That was the director's aesthetic choice, that where does he wants this final drama to unfold. Instead of a railway station, it could have been anything else. And instead of showing Kajal running after the train very well could have been stationary. But then it is the director's choice of how he wants to portray the tension that is unfolding on the screen. And of course, the production. I mean, this very same scene could have been shot on a hill station, on a railway station which is there on a hill station, or it could have been captured on some railway station which is near a sea beach, or which is in a coastal area. But then the production values determine where the shooting happens and what kind of instruments and gadgets and the cameras which are used in the making of the film. And finally, last but not the least, the star cast. For the role of the father, it could have been probably Anupam Kher playing the role of Amrish Puri, and Amrish Puri playing the role of Anupam Kher. But then the director and the filmmakers decide which person would suit a particular role. So friends, why am I talking about all this? Because all these things are elements of storytelling, not just filmmaking. And if we are cognizant of these aspects in our own speeches, in the way we deliver our talks, not just here at Toastmasters, but at any other stage in life or at any other platform that the life provides us, I think we can really create an impact with the speeches that we deliver. The script, the screenplay, the direction, the production, and the star cast. So with that, I would first of all like to introduce you to the format of today's meeting. We are going to have 3 sections. The first is going to be prepared speeches, and we have got 2 wonderful prepared speakers today with us. Then we'll move on to the table topics session, and finally we'll have the general evaluation session, wherein the general evaluator along with his team of evaluators will try to evaluate every speaker in today's meeting on various criteria, various parameters. So right now I would like to hand the virtual stage to our general evaluator Toastmaster Arjun to tell us a little more about his role and about his tag team. Toastmaster Arjun. Arjun,
Thank you
please
so
unmute.
much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dityendu. I am the general evaluator. Like the general secretary, nobody really is sure what my role is. But the people who are really going to do the work, I have a bunch of team members who are really going to do the work, and I will give you a summary at the end of the meeting. So the people who are actually going to do the work of evaluating this meeting are my tag team, and the first member of the tag team, as always, is the timer, who is Toastmaster Ankan. Right? Toastmaster Ankan, can you please explain your role?
Yeah, my role is to evaluate time and to notify when a speaker is exceeding the time limit. So I'll be writing down in the chat section. In prepared speeches, it has to be for 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I'll write down green, and 6 minutes I'll write down yellow, and at 7 minutes I'll write down red. So that is when speaker has to stop speaking. And in table topic session, it has to be 1 to 2 minutes time limit for the speaker. So at 1 minute, I'll write green, 1:30 yellow, and at 2 minutes red. So that is when speaker has to stop speaking. So that's what my role would be for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankan. That is the timers. That will be the timer for today. The next role player is the R counter. Now let me introduce the R counter for today and the importance of the R counter. See, the R counter is Toastmasters. Don't you wish that you could criticize somebody? You just don't like the way somebody sounds when they speak. They pause a lot. They make too many noises. They will start a sentence and then take a big pause in the middle of the sentence to think about what they have to say, and you are just getting irritated in the middle. Like, say something. Don't start a sentence if you didn't have any idea of what to finish, or you have those kind of people who are always actually always like this. So that enviable job, that role, that the role of being the chief petty officer of counting somebody's R's and ums falls to the R counter for today, and that is my honor today. Yes, I am the general evaluator and the R counter, and I will be the petty officer who keeps track of how many R's, ums, and oohs and ahs, or whatever else you make, whatever other like actually, shoulds, all of those things. I'm the chief petty officer, the R counter, and I will be back at the end of the meeting with my report. Our next role player for today is another good role, is another great role, that of the grammarian. And the grammarian today is Toastmaster Mohit, and he will explain it right, his role. Toastmaster Mohit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun. My name is Mohit Sani. I'll be playing the role of the grammarian today. So, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to every word that is being said, and make a note of what were some of the outstanding words or quotes or sayings that were used in the meeting. I'll also make a note of what were not so good usages of the English language, and I will submit my report at the end. As the grammarian, I also introduce a word of the day. So today's word of the day that I've selected is discern, DISCERN. Discern means to notice or understand something by careful evaluation. Some of the synonyms of discern are recognize, identify, or distinguish. An example of the word usage for discern would be: officials were keen to discern how much public support there was. I encourage everyone to use the word of the day in their speaking, and I will be taking account of how many times the word of the day was used, and I'll include that in my report at the end. With that, I would like to pass it back to our general evaluator. So back to you, Toastmaster Arjun.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit, for explaining that role very well. Our final role player for today is the person who is going to be a silent, I can't say fly on the wall, a silent bouquet on the mantelpiece, I guess. Bouquet on the mantle. I don't know. She's just going to be listening to all of what we say, all the claims we make during our speeches, all the made up or real facts and figures that we throw around, whatever other facts or details that somebody reveals about their personal stories or about something they have done or not done. Somebody will be listening to it all, and she will come at the end to ask you whether you have been paying attention. And that role for today is going to be played by, is Toastmaster Lavina here? She is not here. Oh, Toastmaster Deepthi is Toastmaster Lavina today. So the listener for today is Toastmaster Deepthi, and she will take the virtual spotlight now to explain her role. Toastmaster Deepthi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. So I'm going to be the active listener for today. I've taken it over from Lavina. As an active listener, I'll be listening to the entire meeting, and I will test your listening skills towards the end of the meeting with my perky, quirky, or simple questions. So watch out for my section in the general evaluators report times. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Arjun.
Yes, and with that, I will, since I have described what all of my deputies will be doing in this meeting, I will then have the last word and the final say, and be the general, put the general in the general evaluator. For now, I will like to hand over the virtual stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Deepthi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun. That was a wonderful introduction of the general evaluator's role. So, Deepthi, I think since you have joined a little late, I will give you some fodder for the active listening section. I started off with the elements of a typical Bollywood movie, which are the script, the screenplay, the direction, the production, and the star cast. So let's see how many people remember these elements till the end of the meeting. Moving on, a Bollywood movie can be of many different genres. It could be romantic, it could be patriotic, it could be a real life story, a crime, a thriller, or a horror. Very quickly, can you quickly give me some examples? So let me give a shout out to Mohit. Mohit, when I say a real life story, which Bollywood movie comes to your mind? Real life story.
Real life story. Bhag Milkha Bhag?
Bhag Milkha Bhag. Bhag Milkha Bhag is a biopic, is a biographical movie. Fantastic, wonderful. And Arjun, when I say crime, which movie comes to your mind? Bollywood movie comes to your mind when I say crime?
This is very old. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but Satya.
Satya, with which Manoj Bajpayee started his career or became quite famous, a household name. Absolutely. Mumbai's gang wars, many crime related movies have centered around Mumbai and Mumbai's gangs. Yes, very good. And Mehak, when I say romantic, which Bollywood movie comes to your mind when I say the genre romantic?
Ashki too.
Ashiki 2, absolutely. And if I would have asked the same question to Deepthi, she would have answered Ashiki. And and Ankan, what about thriller? Do you like thriller movies? If I ask you for your favorite thriller Bollywood movie, what would your answer be?
I think Race first one.
Which one?
Race first version.
I did not understand.
Race movie was there.
All right, Race, the first movie, Race. Oh yes, which had the wonderful song Zara Zara Touch Me Touch Me. Yes, I vividly remember that. Absolutely. So when we talk of these genres, we are immediately able to recall some movies. clearly, if I take the example of Race, there were romantic angles in it as well. But Ankan remembers it for the thrill, for the plot twists that it had. And not that Ashiki 2 did not have thrill, but Mehak remembers it for the romantic quotient of that particular movie. So, friends, characters are very important, and many a times, just by looking at the characterization, the makeup, the look of a star or of the main protagonist, you're able to identify which movie is it. So let us play a very quick quiz, and then we'll move on to prepared speeches. I'm going to share my screen. You will see the hero's face, and you just have to identify from which movie I have taken that clipping. Not a clipping, but the snap. All right. So which movie is it? Anyone who would like to unmute themselves and answer? Raghav.
मुझसे शादी करोगी.
All right. Yes. Yes, Deepthi. This is
I'm
Mujhse
sorry, I
Shaadi
don't like
Karoge.
Salman Khan.
But you
No,
don't like, but you might still be able to identify the movie.
I don't
But
know
yeah.
the song. I didn't remember. I wasn't able to recall the movie.
But yes, Deepthi, very well done. Mujhse Shaadi Karogi. We are going to have one more. Raghav, I really request you to go for this one. Which movie is this?
No entry.
Arey wow. All right, Mehak. You know the entire family is a Bollywood buff. I can clearly say. All right. Last but not the least, I think with this movie, Salman Khan's career got a second wind, a new lease of life. Which movie is this?
Wanted.
Wanted.
Absolutely
I know this
correct.
one. What?
Yes, and you are able to see that how Salman Khan, with after a string of flops, started doing some remakes, started doing some macho, over-the-top, action-oriented films, and his career literally turned around because people loved him, absolutely loved him in such roles. And this juggernaut started with the movie Wanted. And I really hope with today's prepared speeches, our speakers are able to begin their purple patch in the field of public speaking. First up, I'm going to invite, is it okay if I invite Raghav first up to deliver his prepared speech? Yes, Raghav is ready. Fine. All right. So today, Raghav's speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Mohit. I request Mohit to narrate the objectives of Raghav's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deeptendu. Just give me one moment. So Raghav would be delivering his project 4 from level 1 of the persuasive influence pathway. The objective of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. So just to let everyone know, he will be doing this speech a second time. He's already done it once where he has gathered the feedback, and in today's speech he will be trying to incorporate that feedback into this speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from the first time when the speech was delivered. The timing is 5 to 7 minutes, and I would with that pass it back to Toastmaster Diptendu.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit. I would now pass the virtual stage to Raghav. Raghav, we don't know the title of your speech, so I hand the virtual stage to you, and you can begin your speech.
Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, good afternoon to the fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So, it's a pleasure to be back, second time consecutively. So, today I'm going to talk about someone which I don't think needs any introduction. The one that I adore the most. He's the youth icon and inspiration for today's generation. I'm talking about the former Indian team captain, Virat Kohli. This name itself has its own brand value. He has achieved so much in life. Like, he has made me believe that we can do anything and nothing is impossible if we have right intent and if we do the right things at the right time. Girls adore him. just because of his looks, his style, and way of speaking. And we boys who have this crazy little fever of cricket just get that contentment after watching his cover drives and flick shots. So let me start from the beginning. A boy born in a Punjabi middle class household who get this interest in the sport of cricket, and he starts getting coaching for cricket at the age of only 9. You see the clearance of mind in this person. Like he knows what he has to do in future. Like people like us at this age also still doubt whether what we are doing is right for us or we should try something else. So people say that he has this crazy passion for the game. But I would say that there is a certain madness and stubbornness towards his game, which makes him so special. Now, I would like to share an incident of his life, which, according to him, was the most impactful of his life. So, this thing happened in 18th December 2006. At that time, he was playing domestic cricket. He was playing a 4-day game. And at that day, he was batting and came back home at 46 runs not out. And he had to continue batting the next day. So at that day, at night, what happened? His father was ill for the last 1 month. And at that night, his father got an cardiac arrest and he passed away. The guy had lost his father, the person who had supported him so much from the beginning of his journey, the person who had this dream to see his son represent the cricket, represent his team at the international level was gone. Then he called his coach and told him whatever has happened. And his coach was sorry for him and he asked him what he wanted to do. And he said he wants to go and play. His coach was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like clear from his mind that he's going to go and play. So you see the scenario. His father has passed away. His dead body is at his home and he knows it. People are coming to his home to pay their condolences. And what is Virat Kohli doing? He's in the stadium scoring runs, taking his team towards victory. Is this a joke? According to him, leaving a cricket match due to any reason was never an option for him. So many players came to Indian team in this generation, and no one has come even closer to the level Kohli has even achieved. No one had that hunger and that craziness just like he has. There are some learnings which I would like to tell you guys. The first learning is never be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are the biggest teachers of our life. Improvement, which we achieve after making mistakes, is just out of the box. Doing right things at the right time is important. You need to discern that if you want to achieve something, you have to pay the price. Just remember, if it is going to be that easy, why wouldn't be everybody be doing the same thing? You have to believe in yourself. Belief system starts from within. It doesn't matter what others think about you. What matters is what you think about yourself. Your physical fitness can do wonders for you, which help you make better decisions, more focused, and also make right decisions. So, at the end, I would like to conclude by one of the favorite sayings of the legend, which is if you feel you are struggling and facing difficult situation, always remember that special times begin with tough times. Thank you, everyone.
That was wonderful. That was amazing, Raghav. Thank you for sharing your take on the great man Virat Kohli. Let us take some time to provide Raghav with some feedback. We can directly message our feedback to Raghav. So I request everyone to take 30 seconds to a minute and provide feedback to Raghav. All right, then we'll continue. Our second prepared speaker for today is Toastmaster Mehak. And today, Toastmaster Mehak is going to deliver a social speech. The purpose of Toastmaster Mehak's project is to practice delivering social speeches in front of club members. The speech will be a 3 to please excuse me. The speech will be 3 to 4 minutes long, and the tasks that she will have to complete as part of this particular project is that the speech have to be original and well rehearsed. She has to give 2 different speeches, one of which we will listen to today. So I will be evaluator for Toastmaster Mehak and will evaluate on the basis of the impact, the social impact that her speech has. So I wish Toastmaster Mehak the very best and hand over the virtual stage to her.
Attention, 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 everyone. It's been 25 years and you are still married. Congratulations, dear mom and dad, for successfully competing with each other. I still can't believe that you made it quite far without killing each other. Greetings to each and everyone present here. On this gracious occasion, I would like to roast and toast Mr. Always Right and Miss Always Mute. Peeping into your wedding photos, I realized that love is crooked. But only some people know how to find peace in that crooked love. And you know that you are not that some people. Until now, your wedding sums up as the most fun evening, followed by week of fight, months of war, and finally you make it to the 1/4 of a century, your 25th wedding anniversary. Being the Rajang Simran of your dreams, you proved that getting married wasn't a challenge for you. Staying in it till now is. And I salute you for that. You might not have many things in common. If one loves cricket, the other is shopaholic. If one is a foodie, the other is not. If one is workaholic, the other is a spy. If one is full of words, the other is always mute. Despite these, one thing that still and surely remains common is the imperfect love for each other. And your favorite duet from the movie Blackmail, Pal Pal Dil Ke Paas. In spite of the million flaws, 1,000 mistakes, 100 imperfections, you two have been bearing each other, and finally, you two have passed the stage of just being a couple. I know it's been really hard raising someone like my sisters, but I guess it's going far good till now. I have personally seen you two fighting like kids, one hand and dealing every grave situation with equal maturity and sensitivity on the other hand. Running to one another for every small thing, every piece of news, whether it's good or bad, and being liberal enough to respect each other in every cases and in every choices. Having said all what I have, I would also like to add that this is just a phase which you have lived till now. There are many more phases coming up in the future, and I wish you all the best for all of them. Someone has rightly said, Shadi is dal chawal for 50 saal ke liye hai. I often used to believe this thing, that marriages are lentil and rice for the 50 years ke liye hai. After all, there should be a little bit of minced mutton with bread, chicken drumsticks, and Hakka noodles in life, right? But you proved me wrong, because your love and marriage is the tadka in that lentil. One thing that I have learned from you both is that you never lost the you in your marriage. You maintained your individuality, and I hope that you are able to maintain that love, respect, and trust among yourself till eternity. Postscript: falling in love is like investing in mutual funds. We all think that we will get returns when it will mature. What we don't think is that investing in mutual funds is subject to market risk. Cheers to the risky venture, to a journey full of hills, valleys, mountains, and peaks. Cheers to your love. Toastmaster of the day.
Incredible, incredible. I haven't heard such a speech at Toastmasters ever. Wonderful, beautiful speech, Mac. Very well done. With this, it's time to move to the table topic session. But before that, we are going to have another quiz. So Bollywood and Bollywood stars, movie stars, have a lot of impact on society as well. Many people follow their fashion statements. Many people follow their life's philosophies. And we can see their impact in the way they are recognized by various bodies, government and non-governmental bodies. So let's have a quiz around these Bollywood stars. And I am very interested to see how all of you fare in it. I'm now going to share my screen. Here goes. All right then. So friends, which Bollywood actor has been declared as the national icon of Election Commission of India in 2022? Who would like to answer? Lakshay. I will call out the names and I would request that person to unmute and answer. Lakshay, you're there?
Hi, I'm there, but I have no clue about this one.
Want to take a guess?
I would like to pass it.
How about
No.
Ankan? Whom do you think it is?
I think Pankaj Tripathi.
Absolutely not wrong. That means you are correct. Fantastic. It is Pankaj Tripathi. And yeah, he certainly, for some reason, Election Commission of India thought that Pankaj Tripathi, who plays Kalin Bhaiya, a dreaded gangster in Mirzapur, would be a good role model for Election Commission of India. When we'll move on. The next question is, which state has signed Bollywood actor Sanjay Dutt as the brand ambassador for its Golden Jubilee celebrations? Anyone? Who would like to take a gander at this? Arjun?
Which state has signed Bollywood actor Sanjay Dutt brand? I have no idea.
You have no idea? Anyone wants to take a guess?
Arunachal Pradesh.
Yes, and who answered? Lakshay,
This is Lakshay.
I think Lakshay, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. While researching these questions, I was very surprised with the answer, that what relationship did Sanjay Dutt have with Arunachal Pradesh? But yes, the answer is Arunachal Pradesh. Moving on, which Bollywood actor was recently named in World Economic Forum's Young Leaders list?
Priyanka Chopra.
Has to be Priyanka.
It has to be Priyanka. Even I thought so, but it isn't. It is the female whose husband recently bought a 120 crore house in Mumbai.
Deepika.
Absolutely correct. You have to come from money if you have to feature in World Economic Forum's Young Achievers list.
Who is that? Deepika.
Yes, it was Deepika.
Oh.
Moving on, which Bollywood personality has launched an online platform called Pravasi Rozgar to help migrants find job opportunities?
Oh, Sonu Sood.
Absolutely correct. Especially during COVID-19 times, Sonu Sood really has been a beacon of hope and optimism for the migrants and for people who have been forced to migrate from cities, especially the laborers. I've got one more for you. Which Bollywood personality was named by Niti Aayog to promote women entrepreneurship platform?
Vidya Balan?
Smriti.
Vidya Balan. Yeah, that should have been the natural answer, but coincidentally, it was a man. As you can see, the first three options are men. Anyone wants to take a guess? Well, it's not Vidya Balan, so you have to choose amongst the other three.
Akshay Kumar.
Yeah.
Well, yes, going by Akshay Kumar's closeness with the current ruling dispensation, even I was, compelled to think it was Akshay Kumar, but it was actually
Cannot accept.
Sushant Singh Rajput. Last but
Salman.
well, it ideally should have been Salman Khan. Because Salman, we all know that how much Salman Khan respects women. And the last question is the versatile Bollywood actor Irfan Khan, who recently passed away, won national award for which movie?
Answering
Life
so.
of Pi?
Lunchbox.
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 Yeah, guys, we already had our lunch, and the movie was not Lunchbox. It was actually Pan Singh Tomar.
Sorry.
Absolutely. So, friends, the reason I shared this quiz with you all was just to tell you that Bollywood stars have impacted us and continue to impact us not just through their movies, but their impact is further magnified when bodies such as Niti Aayog and World Economic Forum use them as brand ambassadors for their marquee programs. So Bollywood certainly has a lot of impact on our lives. Let's move on to one of the most entertaining sessions of any Toastmasters meeting, which is the table topics session. And today's table topics master is none other than president of our club, Toastmaster Mehek. I hand the virtual stage to her to take it forward.
Thank you so much, Diptendu. Now Toastmaster Deepti is here, so she will take over as the table topic master.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Okay, so hi, everybody. Now, since we have Bollywood as the theme, how can we leave aside the table topic section and not talk about Bollywood? So what I have done is I have randomly picked up pictures of different movies, scenes from different movies. Now, what you need to do in the table topic section is forget about the movie. Even if you know, forget about the movie, look at the picture, create a dialogue or create a story or a situation which best describes that picture. You can, of course, feel free to use the names of the actors. Either you can create your own innovative ones, or you can use their original names. Choice is yours. Okay. So here I go and I share my screen. I'll show you the first picture as a clue so that all of us are comfortable. Okay. And I don't intend to show the rest of the pictures, so I will do a slideshow. Okay. A thumbs up would do. Okay. So this is a picture. We can do a sample, quick sample. I'm sure some of us will be able to recognize which this movie is. It's Ki and Ka, right? Okay. Now forget about the movie and anybody wanting to raise their hands and create a dialogue, a story, or something interesting, or weave a fight between the characters shown here. Give them names, be your creative.
I was going to say, Toastmaster Deepti, that we can see the other slides, so you might want to hide those.
Oh, I thought I had done a screen share. Okay, let me. I'll stop the share, put it in screen share mode, and then do a. I think that is what will make the difference.
You can push the scroll bar absolutely to the left so that the icons become very small. We won't be able to see them.
Okay, can you only see the shared photo now?
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We can't see anything right now, although you have started screen sharing.
You can't see anything?
No. Ma'am, you have to do Shift F5 and then do a screen share only of that shared slide.
Okay, so I guess bandwidth is an issue at my place. So what I will do is I will save all these pictures. I mean, the slideshow as a picture. Meanwhile, while I do that, can I have volunteers for the first picture now that you've already seen it? Any volunteers who'd like to say, just call out your name. Nobody? Then I'll go ahead and pick and choose. Okay, so let's start with an experienced Toastmaster. How about Toastmaster Mohit? Would you like to go ahead and weave a story around the picture?
Okay.
So timer, please note that the timing for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes with 30 seconds of grace on the upper side, which means a table topic speaker can speak for a max of 2 minutes to 30 seconds. We'll encourage everybody to speak for at least 1 minute. That is till the timer types green in the chat window. Okay, any questions before we begin? No questions, I assume. Okay, so timer, you ready? Okay, great. So the first volunteer is Toastmaster Mohit. Please go ahead and start.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepthi. So I've been married for over 15 years now, and there was a point in time when, like any married couple, there would be some sort of misunderstandings and confusions. So it's just so happened that one fine day, my wife was giving me a call. I was on the way back to home, and I was on another call. So that would obviously, mean that the wife's phone got unanswered. It kept happening. There were multiple calls that she tried to make, but I was on the phone constantly. It happened that day, the next day, a couple of days later, and so on and so forth. And when I reached home, I used to always tell her that I was talking to somebody from work. But she, being the your typical wife, was able to discern the situation, and she one day confronted me. Who is that office colleague that you are talking to for so long? And eventually, I did share with her that it was an old sort of lady friend of mine that I was talking to. We'd got back in touch after almost a decade, and there was a lot to catch up. So I'm glad that I did share with her what the reality was, and the message that I draw back from that is that there have been several other such instances when I would want to brush some things aside or just let the sleeping dogs lie, so to say. But I have chosen to go ahead and share what the reality is, and that has actually helped take our relationship to another level. Thank you, and back to you, dear Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit. And well, I can actually now relate your story with the picture, because you were probably the cool, happy guy when you were talking to your friend, and your frowning, anxious wife looking at you. So well done. Good relation. So we have Arjun as our next volunteer. Great job, Arjun. Thank you. I will pick up the next picture now. All right. So I'm sure, Arjun, if you're a movie buff, you'll recognize the movie.
I can't see it.
You cannot see it yet. Can anybody else see it?
Oh yes, I can see. Oh yes, I see it now. Yes.
Yes, you see it. Okay. So you recognize the movie?
Yes.
Great. But then please forget about it and
Yes.
weave your own story.
Okay. This so I'm supposed to create any story. It's not my story, just any story, right? Okay, so once there were two brothers. One of them who was very intelligent, smart, handsome, athletic. He became an astronaut and a businessman and an entrepreneur and won an Olympic medal as well. You know, he did it all in one lifetime. And uh, and because of that, he really never was at home at all anytime. And his parents and his mother, they they got sick, they got old, as everybody does. And even though they were very very happy that they had birthed this specimen of a human being, somewhere they did feel that having the other brother, the average son, was better for them in the long term, because at least he hung around the house pretending to care for them while mooching off of them, because he didn't want to go out of the house. At least he took care of them. And so when this other high achieving astronaut, athlete, billionaire brother came back home and asked the parents to move out of the house and move into a better house, and uh, maybe just live a better life, the other brother then tries to guilt trip him into saying, where have you been all this while? Yes, you may be all those things in the big wild world, but while you are out there pursuing your selfish aims and ambitions, I was here taking care of my parents, taking care of our parents, who are also your parents. And this astronaut, billionaire, athlete brother he has to stop himself from saying, bro, you were just hanging around the house, living off of your parents, pretending to take care of them, while I was out there changing the world and making our family name proud. Now whenever everybody hears the surname Pant, they don't laugh anymore. Everybody knows it's not Pant anymore. It's supposed to be said Pant. I have raised the profile of the surname Pant in the whole world. And that is when the other brother, yes, you may have all that, but I have my mother. So that is the story.
Very nice. Thank you, Arjun. Thank you for taking us back to Mere Paas Maa Hai. Nevertheless, I could relate to so many movies, and it was like a mixed lentil rice combination from a lot of movies. But tall tales, good ones. One brother having it all, becoming an astronaut and an entrepreneur and whatnot. Awesome. Lovely. Can I have the next volunteer, please? Somebody who's relatively new. Maybe Ankan, you can also try one. Yes? Okay, great. And then next up, Lakshay, we request you and Raghav. Okay, so here goes the next one. Who can help me time for Ankan? Mehek will help us time. Great. Thank you, Mehek. Okay. So here's your picture. Can you see it, Ankan?
Yeah, sure.
Great.
Okay. So it has started. I'm sorry.
So you time will start when you start your story.
Okay. Okay. So looking at this picture, I can relate one of my personal experience of college. So there was a friend of mine. So actually, uh, gender is opposite here because I was the most studious one and she was the most outgoing one. So, but it would happen like that. Uh, I, I'm really sorry. I have to stop this.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Okay. So it would happen like that. We would meet and I would ask her like, shall we go out or something? Shall we go out randomly to have a dinner or whatever? And her reply would be, मैंने चप्पल पहन रखा है, मेरे पिंपल हो गए. So that face exactly, that bookish one face would be mine, and she would be like teasing me for all the time by doing this nonsense stuff. So that is one. That is one my story.
Go ahead, you can tell us more about more incidents from that friendship.
And yeah, it would be mostly like that. So there was once when she asked me to drop her somewhere to a hostel, and I was in library, and I actually forgot. She asked me to drop her after 1 hour or something. I actually forgot, and I went to my own hostel and I slept there. After a couple of hours, I said it suddenly reminded me, oh my god, that she asked me to drop, and I just jumped off from my bed and I called her, and she was already in her hostel. She said that I saw you going away, so I came back on my own. So then this time that was a original face, and I was the one teasing her. So that is another story.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that personal experience away from the movie
Thanks.
for us. Thank you, Uncle.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, Raghav, would you like to volunteer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So here goes your picture. Can you see the picture?
1 minute. Yes, now I can see.
Okay.
I should say that I would be in a trouble because if it was a competition to uh, recognize the picture and tell the movie, and after that we have to tell the story of that movie, then that wouldn't be good for me. So with this picture, I'm thinking from where I should start. I would say this picture depicts our story, which is of some many years ago, after the globalization and everything, when there was the era of kings, there was no democracy. So this picture depicts that here there is a coordination in the team. People in the team, if they want to fight a battle, there's a need of a coordination and there's mutual support, which can help them to win a battle. So in this, huh, okay. So if there is something, if a team wants to achieve anything, they just need to give each other some support and trust so they can do anything they want. I think that's all from my side. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Raghav. That was a message very well derived from the picture, or the message of teamwork. So thank you. That's great. Diptendu, do we have time? Can we pick up one more topic?
It's 4:41. Yeah, we can go for one more.
Okay, so I need one more volunteer, please. We have Lakshay. Would you like to volunteer, Lakshay?
Yeah, I'm up for it, but please do spare me if I fall short for anything,
Arey,
because
that's okay.
I guess I lack these kind of imagination. So that's all.
So
Okay,
what
I'm up
you
for it.
Sure. We're more than happy that you're up for it, Lakshay. So what you can also do is, when I show you the picture, you can take 20 to 30 seconds to think about it. And now you've seen how other people have, some of them have derived messages out of the picture. Some have shared their personal stories. Others have mixed up a couple of stories and shared and brought it back to where
Yeah.
it was, right? So you can go ahead, take 30 seconds, think, and then start speaking. It's perfectly okay. Okay?
Thank you. Okay.
All
I will
right.
try.
Yes, please do. So this is your picture. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Great.
Okay. Give me some
Think
time
for
to think
30
over it.
seconds. Think, yes. Give it 30 seconds.
Okay. Let me do something about it. Okay. These are like three friends met after like 10 years in a foreign country, and they took a bet to race their cars, and what they did was like they started racing the car and end up on the same time at the finishing line. And then they are like remembering the old days they used to do these kind of competitions and all. And the people behind them are shocked, like they did it in almost 20 seconds, which was supposed to be done in 25 seconds. So they set up a world record in racing themselves, and that's how the things went. And they are now planning to have a night party at some five-star hotel. uh, that's how what I can think right now. And they might be discussing about their wives, that they would be angry that they left him behind, and now they are laughing at each other with how things were going to be. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
all.
Very well. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lakshay. That was a very good attempt at
Thank
weaving
you.
interesting stories. With their black suits and jackets, they very well look like people who are ready to invest and throw away their money in lavish or big style interests. So, very
Yeah.
well weaved story. And you have a great imagination also bringing in their wives into picture. So, good job at that.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, let me see if I have one more picture and then we can call it. Okay, this is the last picture. So anybody else willing to do? I can pick up one more.
Manvi
picture.
has raised her hand.
Oh, yes? Okay. So allow me a moment, Manvi. I'll bring up a picture for you.
I have a very different challenge here. I have a picture for Toastmaster Deepti today. Would you like to go
Okay.
on?
Absolutely. I'd like to pick up the challenge, Manvi.
So let me share my screen.
Sure.
And your picture is on the screen now.
Okay. Well, I recognize the movie.
But forget about the movie and weave your own story today.
Okay. So this is a story about two friends, Raj and Simran. Now, while Raj was always very methodical, very principle or process driven, Simran was the one who had the go-getter attitude. She would always jump into taking risks, which obviously made her land up into trouble. So this is the day when actually both of them landed into trouble. Now, the trouble was not about missing the train, if you're thinking that. No, the trouble was about not taking the right train home. Okay. And deciding which home did they want to go to, whether it was Raj's home or Simran's home. Why? Because they wanted to study together for their coming exams. Now, Raj obviously wanted to go to his home because he had lots of books lined up. He had his notes ready. But Simran did not want to do that. So these guys were having a good argument. And by the way, Simran wanted to study out in the open, sit in a park, probably absorb the evening sunset, the smell or the fragrance of the garden in which they could sit. And this is the situation when they were fighting. So this is one of the very many situations when these friends were arguing about. And that is how they were pointing fingers at each other. So thank you, Toastmaster Manvi. I hope I gave you some food for thought with that picture. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. The idea behind sharing pictures and asking you to forget about the original movie was multifold. So one, a picture speaks 1,000 words, and they kind of become sticky with us. So every time we look at a picture, we tend to go into that mode into that era. In fact, not only if you've seen a picture or a movie in a hall with friends, you'll start even smelling, you'll get nostalgic and you start smelling those smells also. So this is the power of stories, whether they come through pictures you all or through words. But the idea of taking you away from the original picture is to let you know that we can always go ahead and create new stories and tell tall tales, share what you think could be taken from those pictures. So with that, I hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Diptendu.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti. In continuation with what you just mentioned, when we write a speech, when we are thinking of an idea to write a speech, it would be very helpful for us to develop a vision, to first of all have a summary of our vision, to put the summary on page first, and then come up with the rest of the speech. To that end, I have another game for you all. I will now share my screen. You will see the summary of a movie, the plot of a movie, and you have to guess which movie is it. So here goes. So the movie is a sensitive portrayal of Manu, a bodybuilder who falls in love with Manvi, a Zumba teacher, who later reveals that she is a trans woman. In which city is the story set?
Chandigarh.
Chandigarh.
Yes, and the movie being Chandigarh Kare Aashiki.
Yes.
So just imagine, what if your speech had this kind of a one-liner summary and you built your story around it. Moving on to the next one. Under investigation as a suspect in her husband's murder, a wife reveals details of their thorny marriage that seem to only further blur the truth. Yes, Mehak.
B. Hasina Dilruba.
Haseen Dilruba. Oh yes. And the movie starred which actress? Tapsi Pannu.
Tapsi Pannu.
All right then. Now this everyone can say in chorus. Story of a coolie who rises in the world of red sandalwood smuggling.
Pushpa.
Pushpa. Flower samjhe kya? The next one. An aspiring actress in a small town in Rajasthan agrees to bear a child for a visiting couple seeking a surrogate mother.
Mimi.
Mimi.
Wonderful. Wonderful. The next one, a Tamil boy, Vishnu, meets girl Rinku in Bihar and is subsequently forcibly married to her. This begins a story of two romances, with the lady in question revealed to suffer from symptoms of schizophrenia.
Atalangere.
Great, great. Everyone is a movie buff here. Set in 1971, this airstrip is destroyed by Pakistani aircraft, cutting off reinforcement supply from mainland India. A small group of Indian Army soldiers defend it from being overrun, while 300 local women reconstruct the damaged strip in 72 hours. Has anyone seen this movie? Would anyone like to take a guess about this particular movie?
Bhuj maybe.
Yes, it is. The movie is Bhuj, Pride of India. Alright, an Indian athlete overcomes all societal barriers to become a national level athlete, but her glory is hindered when she is asked to undergo a gender test.
Rashmi Rocket.
Yes, absolutely, Mohit. The penultimate one. A fearless but slightly forgetful Mumbai cop, Veer IPS, and the chief of the ATS in India pulls out all the stops and stunts to thwart a major conspiracy to attack this city. Suryavanshi? Surya Singham, Surya Simba, or Suryavanshi? Which one?
Suryavanshi.
Four.
Absolutely. And this is going to be the last one. The movie is named after the code name of the raw agent tasked with rescuing 210 hostages after an Indian commercial airliner is hijacked by terrorists in the mid-1980s.
Bell bottom.
Bell bottom.
Fantastic, friends. Fantastic. So this is it. This was the Bollywood matinee quiz. We all enjoyed this afternoon. And friends, we are Toastmasters Club of Storytellers, and we are here to learn storytelling. And through Bollywood, through movies, through the scripts of the movie, we can learn everything there is to learn about storytelling. So creating a summary of the vision that you want to portray through your speech, having such a strong character sketch. We did the Salman Khan exercise in which we had 3 images of Salman Khan, having such a strong character sketch that everyone is able to recognize your speech or your act through just the main character. These are tips which you can incorporate in your own speech and thus become better storytellers. It is time for the final and the most important section of the day, which is general evaluation. I request Toastmaster Arjun to take over the virtual stage.
Yes, just a second. Let me gather my general evaluator notes as I.
Sure.
Yes. So we have finally come to the general evaluation section of today's meeting. For the first evaluator, first we'll have the speech evaluators, and to evaluate the first speech of today, we have evaluator 1, who is Toastmaster Deeptendu, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun. Today, Toastmaster Mehak delivered a social speech. Particularly, it was a toast that she made at a social occasion, the occasion being the 25th marriage anniversary of her parents. She laid the context perfectly, got the attention of the audience with the very first act that she performed, that of standing up, having a champagne glass in her hand, and announcing the toast that she was about to give. Beautifully set context. She then displayed her language chops, her dexterity with English language, using words like roast and toast. Quirky language usage like this makes the speech very interesting for the audience. Now, even though we were not watching a movie, she did not use any props, but she did a fantastic and a succinct character description of her parents when she mentioned Mr. Always Right and Mrs. Always Mute. Just having this very short 3-word character description made those characters come to life, and then for the rest of the speech we knew that that she was talking about Mr. Always Right when she was referring to her father, and she was referring to her mother when she said Mrs. Always Mute. So a beautiful character description. One recommendation for Toastmaster Mehak is, although it was a toast, but of course she had to imagine as if she was standing in that party hall wherein she was giving this toast. But something to ponder about is how to involve the audience in such kind of a speech, because I felt that at times audience can feel alienated when you are delivering such a speech. So you could have made a little more effort of probably bringing us all to the party. For example, let us visit my parents' 25th marriage anniversary. That way, I wouldn't have felt alienated throughout the speech. I was hoping that you would be addressing me as the audience rather than addressing your parents. But maybe you could have probably invited me to the party, and that way I would have felt more part of the speech. One recommendation. Then she made the speech very colorful by mentioning a variety of food items as she was describing the dynamics, the nuances, and the beauty of the association that is marriage. And she used non-vegetarian food items, vegetarian food items. Basically, she created a very feel-good atmosphere, a very colorful atmosphere of this whole dynamics of marriage, and made us feel for her parents and for the love that they share. All in all, it was a wonderful toast delivered by Toastmaster Mehak on a social occasion, something that we all can learn from. If only Toastmaster Mehak can plug the one loophole of involving all the audience members into her speech, into her toast, it would take her speech to the next level. With that, I hand it to the general evaluator.
Great evaluation as always from Toastmaster Deeptendu. To evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Raghav, I think we have Toastmaster Mohit, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Raghav's speech. Please take the virtual spotlight.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. Have you all ever realized how learning happened in earlier days? I think the days before the internet, even before the television. The learning in those times happened through people sharing stories, and that passed generations and generations, and the message became very sticky. even though there was no internet, there was no TV, there were no all the things that we are blessed with now. And today we heard Toastmaster Raghav share with us a story, a very powerful story with a very clear message that we have to choose courage over comfort. Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav, for that beautifully shared story about none other than Virat Kohli, who we all look up to. A great message from a great story. I also like the fact that you were able to draw the picture in front of us. I still can imagine the body of Virat Kohli's dad in the house, and what would be running through his mind when he had to make that decision. I can completely imagine how that conversation with the coach would have gone. So you actually created that scene in front of us in this speech. Very well done on that. Apart from that, you also chose a very good words in your speech. For example, you said the youth icon, the right intent, the madness and stubbornness about the game. So you chose the right words which created that impact in front of the audience about the intensity of the entire message. Although I was completely amazed and there was a clear message, I would like to share some recommendations for you to take your speaking to a different level. First of all, you should start from the speech itself. There were some greetings which were exchanged, which you can avoid. Just when you are on this virtual stage, you can start from the word go. Secondly, you can make this story your own story. So it would have been a far more effective speech had you shared with us what that made you feel, or how did life change for you from Virat Kohli's story. That would have, how that affected you. That would have added more color and depth to the message. The next recommendation I have, if I remember correctly, the video for yourself was off when you were speaking, and I couldn't see you. And therefore, I missed out on the body language or expressions, which add a lot of weight to the speech. So try and make sure the technology is taken care of when you are giving a speech so that the audience can discern a lot more from the body language and expressions. One additional recommendation is that you could consider having some sort of suspense built in the story. So if you could have said, I'll tell you a story about boy, and at the end you can disclose we are talking about none other than the youth icon Virat Kohli, for example. So that could create a sense of curiosity in the audience, and they will stick with you all through the speech. Overall, a great message of choosing courage over comfort, of the fact that special times begin with tough times, and good word usage, and a great picturization in front of the audience today. If you take care of a few points, like start with the story directly, make the story your own, put the video on, and try to add some element of suspense in the story. With that, it would become even more effective. Thank you, and I'll pass it back to our general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit. That was a great evaluation. Now, for all of my tag team role players to give their evaluations. Our first evaluator for today will be our first team player, our first tag team role player. Tag team role player. My first mini evaluator today will be the timer, who will give their report. Should I call the? No, I don't feel like calling the timer first. I feel like calling the grammarian first. We'll have the grammarian's report first.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun.
Yes.
I would like to start with the word of the day. The word of the day today was discern. And Toastmaster Raghav used the word of the day once, and I also tried to use the word of the day at least twice. Apart from the word of the day, one word that I selected from the entire meeting today was a word that Toastmaster Diptendu used, juggernaut. Juggernaut. I have to admit that that was the word of the day that I originally wanted to include in today's session, but I had dropped that out. But Diptendu used that. Juggernaut word is an amazing word, and it comes from Indian origins. Jagannath, you might be knowing who Jagannath is, right? A tremendous force, something that is unstoppable. That is Jagannath. That's the God, Lord Jagannath, that as we know it. And that's how the English word juggernaut takes its roots. So thank you, Toastmaster Diptendu, for sharing that amazing and using that amazing word today. Apart from that, I have a few things that I noted. There were great usages of word and language today. Somebody used the word vividly. There was words such as propagate, vital role, pensive, aesthetic, enviable, juggernaut, as I already mentioned, consecutively, intent, madness and stubbornness, those out of the box, and phrase like special time begins with tough times, fall short of expectations, let the sleeping dogs lie, pretending, weaving stories multifold, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Those were some great usages of English language that were used today. Some of the things that I noted which could be better is somebody said to do participate. It should be changed to participate. Somebody used last but not the least. The correct pronunciation is to drop the from the sentence. It's last but not least. Somebody said bouquet on mental peace and fly on the wall. I think you could change that to something simpler because I couldn't quite understand how it would fit the discussion. So you could try and make it a little simpler for the audience to understand. And somebody used the word succinct, alienated, bring us all to the party. So those were again some great usages. Overall, juggernaut is the word that I'm taking back, and I'm challenging all of you to use that as well, apart from the word of the day, discern. Thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to our general evaluator.
Thank you for the report, grammarian of the day. I kind of put you on the spot by calling you up in the non-traditional order. Our next role player for today that I want to hear the report of is the R counter, which happens to be me. So today I thought we had a really good R day. No, I think we call it fillers now. No, I think that is the more professional sounding, the filler counter. The filler counter, and I didn't really hear much. For example, for speaker one, Toastmaster Raghav, I heard maybe a couple of R's, a couple of and ands. For Toastmaster Mahek, I couldn't really find anything. Maybe I was just too mesmerized by the speech to be paying attention. So that is again another way of masking your what do you call speech artifacts, that your content is so good that it all becomes superfluous. I know that the great Silicon Valley prophet Paul Graham, he makes a lot. Begins every sentence with an R, but the way he speaks and the way he talks, you don't even notice it. He just begins every sentence. If you go and watch on YouTube right now, Startup School by Combinator, and you just watch talks by Paul Graham. So yeah, that if your content is so good, then people will not be able to discern your speech artifacts. When it comes to the table topics, Toastmaster Mohit, I couldn't really find anything again. Toastmaster Arjun, I'm pretty sure I had more than 5 hours, and maybes. Even though I don't remember saying them, but it just happens that I just say these things. Toastmaster Ankan had a few hours, but that is okay. Great attempt. Toastmaster Raghav again had a few hours and a couple of maybes. Toastmaster Lakshay, a lot of long pauses, which is understandable, maybe because he was attempting um, just out of maybe he was put on the spot, or maybe he was brave and he made a good attempt. So I would not really point out a lot of flaws with that. Toastmaster Deepthi again, flawless. I couldn't really pick up anything. And that's it for my filler counter report. The next role player for the evaluator from the evaluator team is the timer. The timer for today is Toastmaster Deepthi. Please give your report.
No, it's Toastmaster Ankan.
Oh,
He's
sorry,
doing the
Toastmaster.
timing for us today.
Right. Toastmaster. Sorry.
Yeah, so about prepared speeches, Toastmaster Raghav gave speech about personal life of Virat Kohli, shared some of his personal story, and it lasted for 5 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Mehak gave a social speech on Mr. Always Right and Miss Always Mute, and her speech was supposed to last for 3 to 4 minutes, and it lasted for 3 minutes 58 seconds, which could be taken as 4 minutes. Uh, in table topic section, objective was to create a story from random pictures from Bollywood movies. So Toastmaster Mohit shared his anecdotal experience, and it lasted for 2 minutes 11 seconds. Toastmaster Arjun shared one fictional story about two brothers, one successful and one normal average person, and it lasted for 2 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Raghav gave a message about team coordination and mutual support to win a battle or to complete an objective, and it lasted for 1 minute 25 seconds. Toastmaster Lakshay shared an story of friends meeting after 10 years and planning to do party or something like that, and it lasted for 1 minute 18 seconds. And Toastmaster Dipti also shared a fictional story of Raj and Simran, though different ones. And it was about train conflict back to home, taking back to home, and it lasted for 1 minute 39 seconds. So that is from Timekeeper's area today.
Thank you, timer Toastmaster Ankan. And now for the most important, the most silent, the most insidious Toastmaster evaluator of the day, the most judgmental, the most judgmental, and that will be the listener. And the listener for today is Toastmaster. I forgot the Toastmaster.
Deepti.
Yes, Toastmaster Deepti. And so we'll have Toastmaster Deepti who will check how much were you pretending to listen and how much were you actually listening.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Rajun. And incidentally, for everybody, as a reminder for everybody, the theme for the Toastmasters magazine, District 41's magazine this month is also about the art of listening. And they say that the art of conversation is equal to the art of listening. So that is why I'm here to check how carefully were you listening. So with that, my first question. Toastmaster Diptendu spoke about some genres, movie genres, right? Romantic, crime, reality. And he was randomly asking about movie names. What was the name of the movie that was called out where the genre was crime?
Satya.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Who said that? Excellent. Good listening skills, Ankan. Okay. What was the name of the movie which was called out where the genre was reality or a biopic? What was the name of the movie?
Bhag Milkha Bhag.
Excellent, Raghav. Very nice. So the first question passed. And second question. And Raghav, it's from your speech. So I would bring the answer or the question to you the last, okay, in case nobody is able to answer. But otherwise, the question is pretty simple. So in Raghav's speech, we heard about Virat Kohli. Who did Virat Kohli approach on the day of the match? Who did Virat Kohli approach on the day of the match?
His coach.
His coach.
Yeah.
His coach.
His wife.
Excellent. The coach. Great. A question from the second speech, which is Mehek's speech. So we all know that she was raising a toast to her mom and dad. Now, during her speech, she sung a song, right? She sang a song. Okay. Do we remember the song?
Pal pal dil ke paas.
You have to sing it. It's a song.
Pal pal. Don't ask me to sing it.
Okay. Now, my question is, which movie is this song from?
I don't know.
Mehek gave the name of the movie. Think. Otherwise, I'll ask Mehek to give the answer.
Bobby?
No. Okay, let me give you a hint. In Damsharad style. Okay. This is an English word. You can split it into two parts. One part is a color. The other one is what we use in our corporate lives as a mode of communication. Okay. Mehek, you can give the answer.
Blackmail.
Okay.
Clappings for Deepthi.
No, my question was not able to get the answer from you guys. So, well, I need to probably relook at it or usher you to listen more carefully. Okay, next question. This is from the table topic section now. Okay. Which speaker in his story described a person who was high achieving astronaut, business entrepreneur, and had the surname Pant? Which speaker did that?
Arjun.
That's right.
Toastmaster Arjun.
That's right. Excellent. So Arjun, everybody was listening very carefully to what you said. Kudos. Okay. Next question from the same section. Which speaker spoke about coordination in team when he looked at the picture, when the speaker looked at the picture? So this particular speaker spoke about coordination in team.
Raghav.
Raghav.
That's the right answer. Okay. Now, if you said Lakshay, what story or incident or experience did Lakshay share? Anybody remembers that?
Friends meeting after 10 years.
Louder, Uncle.
Friends meeting after 10 years.
Yes, because his movie was, I think that was probably Welcome or No Entry, one of those two movies. Anil Kapoor, Nana Patekar, and Sanjay Kapoor. No.
Welcome.
Welcome.
That was welcome.
Yeah. Great. Okay, my last question. We had two evaluators today. One of the evaluators gave a recommendation of asking the speaker to involve the audience. For which speech was the evaluator giving this recommendation?
Toastmaster Mahek's speech.
Excellent. Thank you. And back to you, Toastmaster Arjun, our general evaluator for the day. Thank you.
Just a second, I am outside. I'll be getting to my car in just a second. I apologize.
Okay, while Arjun is away, let me ask another question. Without looking at your chat window, who can spell Juggernaut?
Oh, Juggernaut.
Excellent. Who can spell success? How do you pronounce it?
Who can pronounce succinct?
Succinct.
SUCCINCT.
Yes.
Okay, great. Back to you,
yeah.
Arjun.
Spelling has always been an Indian thing, right? Or the world spelling bee is always won by Indians.
That's right.
We are very good at spelling. Yes. So for my general evaluator report, the meeting today started, I think 7 minutes late. Mainly because of the SA, who did not show up for the meeting. So yes, a great a point of 5 points should be deducted from his house team or whatever for coming up late to the meeting. Other than that, the president of the meeting, as usual, she was great. She introduced the guests. She asked them for their introductions. The general evaluator, again, he mentioned his objective. He introduced all the role players, all the evaluator role players, and he did an okay job. He could have done better. Then the first speaker, I really liked the first speaker. It was a good speech, and Toastmaster Mahek killed it as usual, always. The table topic session, I really liked the Toastmaster of the day. I really like the Toastmaster of the day for his really innovative theme and trying to connect and trying to really make it clear that we anyways learn everything that we have to learn from Bollywood movies, so why not make it official? And really started to and really pointed out how many lessons we can learn from Bollywood movies. And it was a very innovative Toastmaster of the day, Timor theme. And the table topics of the day, they were Bollywood based, and I really like that the table topic master made it impose the condition that we didn't just repeat the scene, the story of the movie. We had to think on our feet, and I really liked it. Because it forces us to see the same picture in a different context. Other than that, all the role players were good. It was just a great meeting. I don't really have much to say other than that. Pointers for improvement. We could start on time. The general evaluator should not be in his car. And other than that, it was a great meeting. Over to the presiding officer.
Well, I will step in between and conclude the theme, which is Bollywood matinee quiz. We had some question and answer sessions which centered around Bollywood actors, Bollywood movies, and we also talked about what does a Bollywood movie comprise of: the script, the screenplay, direction, production, and the star cast. We talked about the various genres of Bollywood movies: romantic, crime, thriller, etc. I asked your favorite movies. All in all, the purpose of today's theme is that we learn storytelling from Bollywood movies. We dissect a Bollywood movie and probably do a copy paste of that. Copy paste is not a bad thing, it is a good thing. So you can pick up your favorite movie, for example, DDLJ is such a recognizable movie, and just try to make your own parallel DDLJ in the form of a speech. In fact, when you do programming, when you are learning software development and when you are learning programming, the way to learn program is make a dummy Facebook, make a dummy WhatsApp. So we learn from the established applications, established software, and try to recreate them in our own manner. That is how we learn programming. And in similar way, we can learn storytelling as well. But try to create similar scripts on the lines of famous Bollywood movies. With that, I am very very thankful to all of you for your active participation and patient listening. And I hand the virtual stage to our president, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. It was a really wonderful session. We really enjoyed a lot, and the quiz was really very nice. Thank you so much. Next, first of all, I'm sharing the link so that you can vote here. So I shared the voting link. Please go and vote and please let me know if you're able to access the voting link. You have got 5 minutes, so please you can start sending the votes. I've got 2 responses till now, 3. Five more to go, and then I will close the voting link.
Mehak, I'm not able to access it, the link from my office laptop. So I'll just type in my responses to you.
Okay. So, all right, then I have got the 7 votes and we are all done. So it was a really great meeting. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the 102nd meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. I would like to applaud Toastmaster Ankan, who took up the initiative, took the role of timer in the end moment, and he played the role so effectively and efficiently that it was applaudable. So, Ankan, thank you so much for taking up the role. And I recognize that you were able to cook the approach that you mentioned about the things that was being said in the previous meeting by Toastmaster Uma. So it's really great to see that you are applying that takeaway from the last meeting as well.
Thanks.
With this, I would like to take the feedbacks from the guest. First, I would like to invite Toastmaster Lakshay on stage to please give a feedback for the meeting.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. It was nice to be with you people, and I learned something that from you all, especially all the Toastmaster people who were heading this program. And Meg, you were great in your speech also. Mohit sir, you did a grammar as the grammar point was great, and Dipendu, you were great in speaking. The words were so fluent, and I actually enjoyed listening to you. And the valuation you did over here, it was nice. Ankan, you were also good at the timing part. Raghav, your speech was also good. Thanks, everyone. And I enjoyed working. I should say that I was encouraged very well by Deepthi, ma'am. It was nice to be in this group today. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lakshay,
That's
for
all.
joining in. It was a pleasure to host you today in the meeting. And we are surely that you
Same here.
will be coming up in the next meeting as well. And we'll definitely follow up with you after this. Next, I would
Okay.
like to invite Toastmaster Raghav. Please give a feedback for the meeting.
So the meeting was, I don't have so many words to, I don't have words to say. The meeting was great, just like the meeting we had last time. So it was quite fun. The good thing about this Toastmaster is that everyone gets the opportunity to speak, which is the main purpose of joining the club. So yeah, everything was good and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghav. And we hope you come back and give a speech in our club once again. Next, I would like to invite potential Toastmaster Ankan to please give a feedback for the meeting.
Yeah, again, a lot to learn, and particularly about table topic when where you have to make a story immediately impromptu. So that is a real challenge. It may sound easy for some, or it may many may be used to it, but it's a real challenge. And particularly me, I was taken aback by seeing that picture because I haven't done that before. So it was probably for the first time I was doing that. Immediately by seeing the picture, I'm making a story. I wasn't making a story actually, but even there I have to think deeper to bring something out. So that I'm looking forward to it, more of it.
Thank you so much, Ankan, for joining in today. And there were a lot of things that we learned from you today as well. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Manvi. Please give a feedback for the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. Like I always say whenever I attend the meetings, the vibes here are actually very positive, and the club actually serves the main motto of Toastmasters, that is, in we grow in a positive and supportive learning environment. That is actually there in the meetings and among the club members. I joined in a little late when the TTM was about to come on stage, so I cannot actually share the feedbacks about the speaker, but I know all the speakers, evaluators, and role players would have done their roles to their best level. And I try my best to join in upcoming meetings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manvi, for joining us. Next, I think we're done with the feedbacks. So now it's the time to announce the results. So with this, first let's talk about the best role player. So any guesses about the best role player?
Toastmaster Deepti.
With our wonderful table topics.
Well, you are correct. And the answer is Toastmaster Deepti, but there is one more winner.
Deeptendu.
Yes, you're absolutely
That's
correct.
true.
So it's Toastmaster Deepti and Toastmaster Dipyendu. Congratulations, both of you. A round of
Thank you.
applause for both
It's
of them.
basically Bollywood movies then. That's
The
the winner.
movies won.
We're all movie bus stories.
Next, for the best auxiliary role player. Well, there were many role players today. So with this, I would like to announce the winners, or you want to guess? Any guesses?
Ankan.
The grammarian.
Yes, absolutely. Toastmaster Dipyendu, it's the grammarian for the making. A round of an applause for Toastmaster Mohit. Congratulations. Now for the best speech evaluator. Any
Deeptendu.
guesses?
Dipyendu.
Mohit.
Well,
Deeptendu.
yes, it's Toastmaster Mohit. A round of an applause for him. Congratulations.
Are you serious? Thank you.
Don't overact.
So it would have been overactive if it would have been like this.
No. It's a pleasure. Like, I know how well Deeptendu does it, so I'm like really feeling proud. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now for the best table topic speaker. Well, there were many speakers, so I will announce the winner. It is Toastmaster Deepti. A round of an applause for her.
Okay, now it's my turn to say.
Match fixing, huh?
Congratulations. Now for the best speaker. Any guesses?
Raghav.
Can do Leon.
Mahek.
Winner Toast.
Yes, I've got the honors to win. Thank you so much, everyone.
Congratulations.
Okay, so with this, now we come to the end of the meeting. I want to make the announcement once again that next week we are having the club contest on 27th November, same time at 3:30 p.m. So I want every member of our club to participate in the contest.
Mehak, when will we have the international speech contest?
I think it will be around for our club.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on 18th December.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay. And just for, because we have a couple of guests also with us today. So Mehak, it's okay that guests join and witness the contest, right?
Yes, it's absolutely right. If guests do join the contest, they can see that how the contest goes on, and you can even witness the stories and the speeches from all the club mates. But you will not be able to speak. There will only be the speeches from the club members itself.
The paid members of the
Yes,
club.
the paid members of the club.
Just to clarify one thing, Mehak, if there's no eligibility requirement for the table topics, right? As long as you're a paid member, you can participate.
Yes, for the table topics, you can participate table topics as well as the speech evaluations. For the international speech contest, we do need to clarify, come up with the level 2 in our pathways. And apart from this, we should not be a district officer serving as a district officer currently, or any district officer if you're not continuing with, so you can continue and participate in the speech contest.
I was asking because if like anyone is making up their mind, for example, Ankan, if you want to join, it's a good time to pay the fee and participate in the table topic next week, right, Meg?
Yes, next week.
Okay.
I have to join. I will join. I'll let you know.
Yep.
So with this was the announcement that I was supposed to make. Now with this, I adjourn the meeting. So now the session is open for any queries for the guest and chit chat session.
You can stop the recording.